Yeah, hi there. In this quick lab, we are going to cover multiple VPC networks. So this is related to quick lab GS. So the objective of the lab is to create custom mode VPC network with firewall rules, creating the VM instances using compute engine, exploring the connectivity of VM instances across VPC networks, and creating a VM instance with multiple network interfaces. I'm connected to Google Cloud Platform and I have launched the Cloud Shell. In that shell, I've just run the two commands gcloud auth list to make sure that I'm connected with the right account and gcloud config list project. Project was not set, so I had to set it manually using gcloud config set project and the project ID. Let's continue with the lab. So it says first we have to create custom mode VPC networks with the firewall rules. So for this, we have to go to navigation menu and VPC network, VPC networks. So in the console, I've opened the VPC network, and as per the lab now, what we are going to do is going to create a VPC network. Let's click on this create VPC network. So we have entered the details as per the lab, name of the VPC network. Subnet we have chosen as custom, and the name of the subnet is given as management subnet dash US. Region is US Central 1, IP range as per the lab we have given, and rest of the things are default. So if we scroll down and if we click on this command line, you will get the equivalent command line command which we can run. Let's copy it just for the reference, and then we can hit create. So this will create the VPC network. So management subnet dash US is created. So earlier I created the network with the wrong name. So what I've done is I've just deleted that network and recreated the VPC network with the correct name, management net, and the subnet name is management subnet dash US. The other two VPC networks that you see, default and network and my network. So default is always there, and my network is the one that is provided as a part of this lab. So let's continue with the lab. So this step is done. So we will check the progress. Okay, now next step what we are going to do is we are going to create private network, but this time instead of going in the console, we are going to use the Cloud Shell. So let's copy the command and go to the Cloud Shell. So gcloud compute networks create, name of the network private net, subnet mode is going to be custom, and after that we have to create the subnet which is private subnet dash US. And with this we are specifying the region and the range of the IP address. Once this is done, then we have to create another subnet which is private subnet dash EU. So basically we are creating two subnets for this private net. One is subnet US and other is private subnet EU. Let's wait for it to complete and then we will check the progress of the task. So this is done. Let's check the progress. Meanwhile, we can run this command gcloud compute networks list to just show the list of the networks. So these are all networks which are there. Let me clear the screen and run it again. So default was provided by default with all the projects. My network was already created earlier. Management net is what we created using the console, and private net we created using the Cloud Shell. We can list the subnets and sort it by network. So let's do this. So whatever subnets are there, they will be presented and sorted by the network. Now we are going to create the firewall rules for management net VPC network. So we'll go to VPC network firewall. Let's go to the console, VPC network firewall. So we are going to create the firewall rule. So what I've done is I've clicked on this create a firewall rule button. This page opens up, and then we are just filling up the details like name of the firewall rule and other details based on what is provided in the lab. So name is given, network is management net. So let's in the network, let's select management net, and target is all instances in the network. Target is all instances in the network. IP range is source filter is IP range, and source IP range is 0.0.0. That is anything that comes. Protocol is we have to specify the protocols. So we'll select TCP type 223389, TCP 22,3389, and then we'll check other protocols and type ICMP, other protocols, and we are going to type ICMP. So with this, we are going to create the firewall rule. So I've just filtered on the basis of the name of the firewall rule that we created, and we can see, okay, this firewall rule is created. Now let's go to the next step. Let's check the progress of this task, which is done. Now we are going to create firewall rules for the private network. So for this time we are going to use the Cloud Shell instead of console. Let's go to the Cloud Shell. Let's clear this screen up. So the command is gcloud compute firewall rules create name of the firewall rule, and then we are going to specify the direction. It's an ingress direction. Priority is 1000. For which network we are going to create it? It's private net. Action we are going to allow, and what are the rules that we are going to allow are specified. Name of the protocol and the port and the range of the IP address. So firewall rule is created. Now let's check the progress of this task. So this is also completed. Now we are going to run the following command to list all the firewall rules which are there sorted by network. Now we are going to create a VM instance. In fact, two VM instances we are going to create, so we can use the console to create it. Let's go to console. So when we go to VM instances, we see a couple of VM machines are already created as a part of this lab. So we have to create the other ones which are mentioned in the lab. So let's create on the hit on this create instance button and provide the details as given in the lab. So we have given the VM name, selected the region as US Central 1, zone US Central 1C from the series N1 type, machine is N1 standard 1. Now we'll go to management security disk. Let's click here, it will expand, and what we have to do, we have to go to networking, and for network interfaces, click on this edit button. So let's scroll a little bit up and find out where the networking is. Yeah, here it is, networking. And in the interfaces, let's click this pencil button to change the default network. The network that we are going to select is management net, and it has only one subnet, I believe. Yeah, management subnet US. That's what selected. Click done. So we click here done, and then what we're going to do is click on the command line. Then we are going to get the equivalent command to create VM instance from a Cloud Shell. Otherwise, you can just simply hit the create button. It's going to create a VM machine for you. Let's wait for it. So once the machine is created, we can go and check the progress. So this is done. Now this time we are going to create a VM machine using the commands, gcloud command from the Cloud Shell. Let's copy this, and we go to the Cloud Shell and execute this command. So it's going to create an instance, VM instance, G-Cloud compute instances, create name of the VM instance, private net dash US dash VM. Zone is US Central 1C, machine type is N1 standard 1, subnet is private, subnet dash US. It's going to take some time and then it will create it and then we will check the progress. This is done. Let's check the progress. Now we can run the following command to list the VM instances sorted by zone. So these many VM instances are there and these are all sorted by zone. Till now we are done. Now we have to explore the connectivity between the VM instances. We are going to connect to this machine mynet-us-vm. Let's click on this SSH button and it will open up in a new window. Copy the external IP address of mynet-eu-vm and run ping from this machine mynet-us-vm. So we're going to run ping -c3 and the external IP address of the machine. Yeah, so the ping is working. Now we can test the connectivity for the other machines as well. So this is simple. We just have to connect to the machines and ping and just check whether the connectivity is working or not. Let's scroll down and see what else is left to complete the task. So it says that we have to create the VM instance with multiple network interfaces. Okay, let's do that. So let's go to compute engine VM instances in the Cloud Shell and we are going to create a new instance. So once the page opens, we have to enter the details as given in the lab. So name of the VM instance is VM-appliance, region is US Central 1, zone US Central 1C, machine series is N1, machine type N1 standard 4. Then we expand this network section and we go to network interfaces. We select the network as private net. Subnet is private subnet dash US. And once this is done, we click on the done button and then we are going to add another network interface. So let's select this and this time we are going to select management net as a network and management subnet dash US. So from the drop down select management net and management subnet US, click done. So basically we have got two network interfaces. One is private net and other one is for management net. Let's click on the create button. So once the VM instance VM-appliance is created, we can go and check the progress. It's not completed yet, so let's wait for it. Yeah, I figured out the reason why it was not completed earlier because one of the subnet that I actually selected was incorrect. So what I did, I deleted that VM and recreated it with the correct options. So I had to choose my network as the second network interface, which I selected earlier incorrectly. So now this is done, all tasks are completed. Now we are done with the lab. So there are a couple of things left which we can do by ourselves, just following the instructions. But as far as all the tasks are concerned, these are done. So we can end the lab. That's it. Thank you.